You guys remember some months ago when Khanyi Mbau got a prophecy, and I came here talking about that particular prophecy that was being spoken about, and it was about 3 years ago, if you can actually remember. It's been a minute since we spoke about that. Now, I did actually even give an update when she then responded to that prophecy that was given to her. Not long after that, I think about a year after the prophecy, when she trended after being on a television show where she was being portrayed playing a role naked, doing whatnots, all kinds of things over there. Now, I did state something in that episode that I want to come back to on this episode. So some visuals came out, I think, from her Instagram stuff and she is looking butchered pretty bad. She looks beat up. Looks completely beat up. And so I think these visuals were posted, I think, about yesterday or so, after the so-called new surgery that she went on. She keeps butchering her face. She keeps adding and stretching the face and doing what. Wow, it's a lot. And so I wanted to talk about this idea that I hinted at on the first episode 3 years ago, when this entire supposed prophecy came out saying that she's gonna be a pastor and so what. But anyways, I'm gonna come back to that just about now. It's the Reality Show with Daily Christian Commentary videos. If it's your first time over here, be sure check out some other videos that are down in the pinned comments, and I'm gonna check you out over there. And so I wanted to talk about this because I think it's very important we understand what it does when you speak within this tone to a person who's not saved. Romans chapter number 2, verse number 7 up until 8 says, "And to those who by perseverance in doing good seek glory, honor, and immortality, he will give eternal life." This is on the basis that they are seeking this. So she wasn't seeking it. She doesn't understand the fact that she's not born again. Okay? She doesn't get it. We're not questioning whether a person can change. You are having a conversation there. You are having an unbeneficial conversation. The conversation that needs to be had is that the person does not understand seeking God, does not understand the gift of God. So she receives it in pride. So when you go back there, to those who by perseverance in doing good seek glory, honor, and immortality, he will give. So they seek this in him. When she's still seeking this in the world and you tell her she's coming to lead the church, you create problem. You create problem. You build pride because she feels, because remember, she's not saved. So at that position, what does she hear? What she hears is that, all this more, why? Because she's in herself. She's in self. She functions in self. That's the state of an unsaved person. And you are just announcing position to someone who's not saved, who doesn't even understand it. And so when the verse goes on, it says, "And he will give eternal life, but those who are self-seeking and who reject the truth and follow wickedness, there will be wrath and anger." Self-seeking. If they continue seeking their own way, they miss the point of the gospel, or they miss the point of this entire message. What ends up happening is that they will find for themselves destruction. So, you see, this is what I was talking about when I addressed that prophecy 3 years back. Why? Because she received, is not born again. not saved, does not understand the message of the gospel, does not understand the values of pursuing the gospel. She does not understand pursuit of of the gift of immortality that God gives freely. So if she has not received it freely, she has not received a free gift, and then you are telling her, oh yeah, pastor, to lead these people. That message is received in carnal state. And so when we spoke about this subject, now this which is why the reason why actually I'm coming back to the subject, because when we spoke about it last time, people thought, no, go read the comments on that video. They misunderstand. They think you're saying that people won't change. No, people change, but they must be seeking it. It's not this thing, he says, come to answer the call while he is still there to be found. Meaning, realize that you don't have eternity down here. So when a person feels like, they're just going to pursue whatever, they are self-seeking in a way that the verse actually says. And then you are telling them, oh yeah, you're going to lead. You are building on their pride. The sin nature is very destructive. So it receives that not as a message of come to salvation. It receives that, the sin nature, it receives that in a state of fallenness to pride. It's exactly what I was talking about. He says self-seeking, who reject the truth and follow wickedness. Now listen to what this verse then says. Verse number 9. I think it's quite an interesting one. It says, there will be trouble and distress for every human being who does evil, first of the Jews and also of the Greek. What is this doing evil that he's talking about? The first one, pick of all of them, is rejection of the gospel. So when she heard that message, why is it that the first thing that came to her mind was not, I need salvation, was not service to God? The first thing that she heard was position. Now, by the way, I'm not saying that she will not receive salvation. We don't know people's thinking. But there is a reason why there is a message. We humans have one message. Go ye and make disciples. Go ye make leaders. This is not motivational speaking. Making leaders 2020. Leaders 2020. That's not what we are on. That's not the direction, sir. We are here to make disciples of the Messiah. That's the call. That's where you call her. When you call her to be ruler over us, you create problem, because that message is communicated to her flesh. He says there will be distress and destruction. And so now she just continues on, wallowing on in self-seeking mode. It's sad to see. The message that got to her was a message that had nothing to do with what benefits her. The message that got to her is a message that pampered her. Oh, you are in the right path. One day you are going to be a pastor. Okay? We have one message. Bring people to the gospel. Our message is to bring people to the gospel. This whole thing of one day. If a person is... Now, I'm not against telling people, like, their future or whatnot. I'm not against that. Don't get that twisted. But the message comes different, or it hits different when you're saved. Right? One spoke about this thing that, I myself, who's doing this right now, I got a prophecy, but I was saved. And so the message was not received in carnal ears. The message was, when I heard the message, I thought, service. So I studied, I did what? And I spent years and years going through different forms of studies, right? In order to be equipped for the work. So when I heard leadership, I thought service. Because I'm saved, the message hits different. It touches different. It doesn't touch the flesh. It touches service. And so that's the thing that I kind of hinted on the previous thingy 3 years ago. I'm coming back to it as an example. You see, you preach the message that you are sent with. There's a message you are sent with. And that message is to go and make disciples. We are not motivational speakers. We are not here to create leaders. Go, leaders, leaders. Motivational speaker. Leaders 2020. Anyone that attends this meeting is 2020. We make disciples in the world. We preach the message to bring people to discipleship and the service of God, right? And so it's not against it. As I say, when the message gets heard in carnal ears, it hits different. It sounds different. It can puff the person up in pride, feel more important than life. Yeah, tell me what you think down in the comment section. It's the Reality Show, daily Christian commentary videos. Other episodes down to they'll be down in the pinned comments, and I'm gonna check you out over there. Yeah, tell me your thoughts over there.